you have enough gas? You okay? Are you going back for another swim? I'm going back for more. Is that your favorite thing to do? Is that your favorite thing to do? So today, we're going to be talking about generators.
We're Audrey, Stephen, and Bella, our 9-year-old Doberman. We moved into a 35-foot RV just in time for winter in Minnesota. We checked out the kitchen table so Stephen could bring his sim racing passion along with us, and I sell online with eBay, Etsy, and more with a full office of inventory that needs to go before we can go. Now that it's summer, we are tackling the many projects Artemis the RV requires to become ready for travel. There's still a long way to go, and we hope to not be stuck mooch docking through another sub-zero winter. Follow us while we continue to fix up Artemis, downsize the office, and share our experiences as we navigate the ups and downs of full-time RV living.
We're going to do a little generator servicing today. I'm going to show you how I fit this Champion dual power equipment generator. It's a gas and propane generator. However, I disabled the propane feature and I hooked it up to our RV's fuel tank, so that when this thing is running properly, it's running off the fuel in the tank, which is an 80-gallon tank, and it'll run as long as there's over a quarter of a tank of gas in there. So we're gonna go ahead and drop this down today and do a little bit of a service, and that way I can show you guys what I've done in here to get this thing to actually work. Pretty simple, just clips right on out of there. This is actually the muffler for the Coleman generator that was in here before. I just kind of made it fit under this generator with a piece of flex pipe and some clamps. And then I also wrapped it with a bunch of heat tape so that it would be a little bit cooler. I'm gonna undo these 9/16mm bolts in the front and the back here. I'm gonna drop this whole cartridge down so I can service it. What I'm gonna do right now, ever so gently, lower this down. There she goes. That should give me enough room to check the oil and get that all pinned up. Here is my 4100 watt Champion generator with everything pulled back. I got my front panel here pulled back. I have it zip tied into place. It's nothing really fancy. This is the space that I had with my old Onan generator that wasn't working. It was going to cost $2,500 or so to have that rebuilt, and so I just chose to go find a Craigslist generator. This one's a Champion. It has a electric start on it. It is a choke from back here. Let me see. So I have to choke it every time I want to start it, which is fine. I can't start it from inside the RV. Right here, this is my positive wire coming in from the coach batteries. And so I'm actually able to start this thing off the RV batteries. It doesn't need its own separate battery. You can see I was able to kind of run that up here to the starter solenoid. And so we have battery power, and it's all operated off of this switchboard here. So all I have to do is hit that, and I hit that button, and it'll start right up for me. I have this cord that I plug in right here running up into this junction box, and then from there that junction box is just going into the 50 amp splitter or inverter for the RV, so that charges all the batteries, keeps all the 12-volt stuff going, gives me current. You can see I got it tipped down here because I'm checking everything out. Here's the exhaust that I have in back, which is just basically some flex tube that I have clamped on there really tight, and I just took some heat wrap and I wrapped it all around there. And this is the time of year where I want to come in, and this has only been in here for like 6 years. So I want to make sure that there's no exhaust leaks that I can see in here, and you'd be able to see the carbon kind of getting out of this exhaust wrap if it was. And so that's what I kind of want to see. It looks really good in here. There's no leaks that I can tell. So that's all nice. And you can see where I've taped up this headliner. Some of it's staying up and some of it is sagging. So I have that Gorilla spray glue, and we're going to go ahead and do that. I also, while I'm in here, I want to check the oil. Oh yeah, that is more than full. And you can see that I have that fuel pump back there. That's just an aftermarket fuel pump that I got from O'Reilly. It runs on 12 volt. And then I have a fuel filter back there. You can see that I have all that screwed in. And then I have soft line running that up there. So this little valve that I keep tucked down here on the side here. And then just before I start it, I inspect all these hoses to make sure that everything's good. This is getting a little grimy down here, but these fuel valves are cheap enough. And this is kind of nice because this fuel valve kind of allows me to control the fuel pressure of this thing, because the fuel pump that I bought, it's only putting out like, I think 2.5, 3 gallons per hour. I can open this just a little bit and it controls the amount of fuel that can kind of go into the carb there. I have all these relays controlling all of the things that I have in here. I have 3 relays. I have 1 up front and I have 2 in the back there. So this relay up front controls this fan right here. This fan is blowing air in. Both fans are blowing air in. So I have a fan here, and then I have a fan directly back behind this motor here. You can see I'm using the, this is actually the frame that the generator came in. I kind of cut it up and I put a grounding bar here and made some things work. I didn't have enough time last year to really make my edges real pretty and paint everything, but I knew that this was going to be sitting up in here where no one was going to see, so I didn't really spend a whole lot of time on that, but you can kind of see there's my relays in there. Everything's also fused, so you can see I got everything fused in here, so if I do have any problems, I'll blow a fuse before I will actually do any kind of damage or start any fires. So I just kind of like took this control panel back and I did all my splicing in here. I came off the starter. So basically, once I turn this switch on, all the fans and everything usually kick on with it. Let me turn this on. So here, everything kick on with that. So yeah, the fans operate right off the front switch panel, which is fine. So as soon as I turn that switch on, the fuel pump gets activated, the 2 fans get activated, and everything just kind of starts up, and it runs really slick. I don't know how it's going to operate in the summertime. I know in the wintertime, this thermostat that I put in here to monitor everything, it'd get up to about 110, 115 degrees in this little bay. So today, I'm going to tape all this headliner up that's sagging. We're going to see about firing this thing up to test the air conditioner on this bus, see how that's doing. I also, so one of the things that I did in here, you can see how this thing is mounted. So here are the stock generator bolts for the Onan that was in here, and here is the mount for the generator that's in here now, and you can see this is part of the old frame that I reused. And basically, all I had to do is I removed all of the bars from this rear section here, and then I just bolted this to a steel plate that I got from Tractor Supply. And then I bolted the steel plate in to where the stock mounts were. So this steel plate is actually sitting on the stock mounts, and then I have this thing sitting on the plate. So it doesn't really vibrate around in here. This plate's actually pretty thick. I cut it down so it's an exact fit, or an exact enough fit. And then I don't know if you can see in here, but actually I took some holes in the front and the back, and you can see where I kind of just drilled some lightning holes. And here is the original frame off the Champion generator. So this is where I cut to get the front part of the generator frame in to hold it, and then that's for the back. So this thing, you can see, is nice and sturdy. It's not going anywhere, and it provides plenty of power for everything I need for this RV, and it was way cheaper than the $2,500 it would have taken me to get this Onan in here. So when I am working in here, I do have to watch these corners because these sharp ends will lace you open.
Hey, want to help us out? Subscribe to our channel. It's totally free and it would really bring us joy. Then click the bell notification so you know when we have a new video up. Thanks.
Let's see how all this works. Woo. Okay, that Gorilla Glue ditch job. It's not pretty. It's never been pretty. But the idea is that I just want to create a little bit more of a barrier between this generator and the inside of the RV. The Onan generator, as you guys know, comes kind of self-sealed in its own container, whereas this thing is just sitting open here. It does get pretty warm. I haven't run it in the summer yet, so this will be the first time we run it. I have the oil checked. We got everything kind of looked. This is it's pretty good still. I think we're giving her a clean bill of health. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna get it jacked back up in here. I'm gonna bolt it back up. We're gonna fire it out for you guys so that you guys can see it run. Going up. Grab a bolt. There you go. All done. She's ready to start. Reach in here and we set the choke. Come over here. Turn that on. As soon as I turn this on, the fans will kick on, and I'll click it over to start and it should pop off. It's been a while. Go figure. I'm wondering if maybe I'm flooding it out. Actually, watch this. So we got it running. I actually had the choke open too much, so as soon as I closed the choke a little bit, it started running. Let's try and put the AC on. See, number one is the generator room, so it's 77 degrees back there, and we're gonna keep an eye on that. Let's see if we can get the AC to work in here, huh? Okay, here's our sit rep. AC is on. It is blowing not the coldest air, but it is blowing a little bit colder than it was. You can kind of hear the generator out there working. The generator just died, running the AC. I don't know why. I don't know if it overheated or what's going on, so I'm gonna go take a look at it and figure it out. See if I can figure it out. You can see the glue is holding at least. I don't know if maybe I didn't have enough fuel pressure turned on for it, or I don't know. I'm gonna try giving it a little bit more fuel, and let me see if I can get it going again. Okay, so let me see if I can try this again and see if we get any better luck. We've got more cool air coming out of here. I'm playing with the choke on the generator because I'm wondering if maybe that's why it went out. So I have it half choked instead of all the way open. You can see how quickly that temperature in the generator room went up. It gets pretty hot in there. I have that side door open, so I'm kind of hoping that like it gets enough air in there that way. It's starting to warm up in here. I just closed up the windows. I have it on cool. Just trying to see if the AC compressor will kick on again. Or maybe the generator will shut off, who knows? Like I said, it's a homemade generator fit. It was only really meant to just get us by in a pinch. I still have a battery to build for this. It's not perfect, but it's definitely better than not having any generator at all. And I do also have a backup generator that I showed you before, so. Between those two, we kind of have enough. It's pretty hot in the generator room now. It's still running, but not well. I'm still gaining temperature, not losing temperature in here, so it's getting hotter, not colder in here. The vents are, I don't know, they're like they're not really cold, but they're not really warm air. I feel like I was getting a somewhat similar result. The generator's about to dry. Yep. So there you go. That generator just does not want to run this AC long term. What do we have here? We got a deal on a 1-year-old standing AC unit. It was a smoker's AC unit. It came from a smoker's house, so we had to defumigate it a little bit. I got it home. I blew out the back filter and I cleaned out this side filter and got it all kind of cleaned out. I still have this overhead fan on. We're still running this off of 15 amps, so I only have a 15 amp extension cord plugged in here. I'm just testing it out to see what I can do. This thing pulls about, I think we did the math, it was like 1400 watts at full power. And we just blew it. And there you go. I'm glad I got that on camera. We just blew the breaker.